Thank you all so much. In keeping with the theme of education, I'd now like to call to the stage leaders in the field who are working to create a more inclusive future. Please welcome Robert Singer, Chairman of Alumot Or, and Sonia Gomez de Mesquita, Deputy Chair of SASA Setton. Their interview will be moderated by Tzvika Klein, Jewish World Correspondent for the Jerusalem Post.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here with us. And hello, Robert and Sonia. It's great for me. Can you get closer to us, please? Thank you. It's nice and cozy over here on stage. So I'm actually very excited to be here with Robert and Sonia. I know them for many years, and two of them have done amazing things for the Jewish world, but we're actually here to talk about education. And it's fascinating, Robert. Basically, both of you represent two different organizations, but you're also connected. You'll explain about it if you want. But Alumot Or, I was fascinated to read about it. By the way, as someone who barely finished high school, but at the end finished with high grades, it's a difficult situation. There are many people around the country who have, who don't have enough, ability to succeed.
Yeah, no, thank you, Tzvika. I'm dealing with education most of my life, being a senior officer in education in the IDF, but then moving to intelligence community and spending some time there. But even when I was there, I was responsible for establishing educational systems in the former Soviet Union and Eastern Europe. And also today I'm dealing with different things after completing my time as the CEO of the World Jewish Congress. And I'm still spending a lot of my time on meeting with presidents, prime ministers, ministers, ambassadors, and stuff of this kind. But I think one of the most important things that I'm doing, I'm chairing the organization called the Alumot Or. It came out of a conversation, a phone call that I received 7 years ago from somebody that I knew for some time. And he told me that there is a family of Holocaust survivors who left some fund and they want to do something significant in Israel. And I was sitting with myself and saying, Israel has so many needs. And what would I advise to this family? I'm not sure that even people that are still sitting in this room realize that about 12% of the students in Israel are students who are participating in the special education, which means that every 8 student in Israel is in some way within the system of the special education. So I thought to myself, we had here speakers from different fields in Israel, speaking about excellence, Dan Shechtman and others. But basically, we all know that the strength of any chain is in its weakest part. So I decided to focus on this part, and that's how the Alumot Or was created. It started with a school for autistic kids on low spectrum in Kaduri, in the Lower Galilee. And from there, we have built together with the Ministry of Education 8 schools. Altogether, it's a network of 15 schools in different parts of Israel. And I'm very happy to say that Alumot Or became now the leader in the field of special education, developing different programs. And from the next year, they will continue also and will start working in 500 classes all over Israel.
Can you give us an example of someone that you helped, that the organization helped, it changed their life, it moved something, it created something new?
Yeah, no, first of all, I have to give a credit, to Jerusalem Post that included this issue on the agenda of such an important gathering, but also to 1,000 teachers who are involved in the system that Alumot Or is involved with together with the Ministry of Education. So examples, there are plenty of examples, but as you say, it's always you can go. What comes to mind is exactly a year ago I was driving and one of the teachers of one of the schools called me and told me, we're talking about this school for autistic kids. So she told me that one of the students in the school was chosen to represent Israel in the Tanakh competition.
Oh wow!
So at some stage I was thinking it can't be real. It's probably some special event for kids in special education. But apparently, yeah, she was in the final 8 or final 5, I even think, within this competition last year. I can tell you about a few kids who won the Special Olympics in judo. We have one kid now going to be in the Special Olympics in Berlin. I just had a conversation with one of the kids who are not in an autistic school, but the school for children with the special needs, who just became an excellent, was rewarded as a best soldier in his division in paratrooper. Yeah, as a paratrooper.
Wow. So, as you mentioned, I mean, you've worked and led so many Jewish organizations, as well as Nativ, which is, it was a secret agent for the State of Israel, helping former Soviet Union Jews. What do you bring from your decades of experience in the Jewish world into the world of education and special education here in Israel?
The first thing that comes to mind is everybody can do everything, and many people said it here, but sometimes people don't look at the kids at the special education schools as somebody who can be or should be given a chance or given a choice. And I can tell you from being involved with this organization for the last 7 years that everybody can get to every place. So first of all, to give them a chance. And the second thing, we have today many examples of Jews from different countries worldwide, from Russia, from the United States, from Latin America, from different places, especially making aliyah to Israel in order to send their kids to our schools. What I want to say is that with all the problems we have in this country...
Is that a phenomena, or is it like
becoming... No, it becomes kind of... we have also different ministries of education sending their principals and their officials to learn from us. And the thing I want to say is that, with all the problems we have in this country, in the field of special education, Israel is really a pioneer in many ways. And I'm very happy that Alumot is a pioneer within Israel.
Thank you very much for that. And I'll just add, well-deserved. There's also a rise in the identification of autism, et cetera, right? So, I mean, there's definitely going to be more and more students part of this, right? But just in a short answer.
As criteria for kind of definition of autism changed, more and more students will become part of this system, and I'm very happy that both the previous Minister of Education and the current Minister of Education see it as one of the highest priorities of their ministry.
Perfect, thank you. So Sonia, you're the deputy chairwoman of the SASA Setton organization here in Israel, or foundation, family foundation in Israel, but dealing with a unique situation of people, children who are in hospitals, and some of them may spend years or months, and how do they cope with education and what they're supposed to be learning?
So this is something very unique that the State of Israel is doing, and I'm not sure that people are aware that the State of Israel dealing with something really, really quite amazing, also on an international basis. I mean, people can't believe that something like this exists. So 41 hospitals in the State of Israel, actually in each one of them, there is a school that the Israeli government built many years ago, more than 25 years ago. This is under a special law, the National Free Education for sick children. So it was a special law, and Israel is one of the only country in the world that has this law. We heard just recently that Turkey is going to do the same in their hospitals, in their country. So many years ago, the government, the Ministry of Education, came to the chairman, which is Robert Zinger, and asked how we can support them. So basically, in each hospital, there is a school with head teacher and a huge team of professional educational staff, which basically teaching from 8 to 12 o'clock the children. We are talking about more than 140,000 children every year hospitalized in Israel, and we are talking about more than 3 days hospitalization, whereby you need to give them the education. So SASA Setton, special organization, 13 years ago, with a special family, Hilda and Philip Setton, one family that decided to support the whole 41 system, the whole 41 schools network.
41 hospitals
and schools in Israel. So we basically extend the the day school from 12 o'clock till the afternoon, and we are supporting the government, actually, and extending
Is
the
it a joint
school.
venture with the
It's
government?
joint venture for the past 13 years. We supported more than 2 million children hospitalized in Israel. And with an amazing force of national service girls and boys that coming and helping us to do it. And quite an interesting and unique
Right.
way.
So as she mentioned, you're also the chairman of this organization, as many other organizations that we
Yeah.
don't have time to
I
mention.
want to say that I'm the chairman, but actually Sonia is the engine behind this. But you asked about the relations between the diaspora and Israel, and this is a beautiful example because both programs are 100% supported by the Jews in the diaspora, and they are in partnership with the Ministry of Education. And I just wish that more programs like this or more projects like this will take place.
100%. Yeah. So, can you give us an example also of situations that people go through and need to cope? and to
Hospital,
yeah.
you know, Tzvika, it's a special place that everyone comes to the hospital for a certain
At
reason.
a certain point, yeah.
Exactly, and unfortunately for not a natural reason.
Right.
And while you're coming to the hospital, you have to get the treatment, whether you are Druze, Arab, Israeli, Palestinian, refugee, new immigrant, Haredik, you have all of them in the hospital. So we, as an educational, arm of the Ministry of Education and, of course, an organization that deals with education, we decided that this is the best place to take all the children where a Druze, an Arab, and Christian, and Israeli are studying together, sitting together, spending probably days and months in hospital. So this is the way to have life in partnership. This is exactly...
And it really relates to what people were saying here before, right?
Exactly.
So it's tolerance, and in these situations that we don't choose to be in. We
Exactly.
learn to kind of see other sectors, be with them, sleep in the same room with them, right?
Learn? Yeah.
Yeah, no, the hospitals are the microcosmos of Israeli society. So you have doctors and the teams
100%.
who are Jews, Arabs, Haredi, doesn't matter from what area, from what place, what part of Israel they came from, and the same with the patients, with the kids. So what you have there, really, and they found themselves, like you say, it's in the same place, in the same room, under the same treatment, going through the same negative experiences of being sick, and going to the school. So what Sonia and the teams are doing, really, it's part of really investing in putting a glue between all of them. And you see at the same class kids from different places, which is not happening to them when they're in their cities. They're sitting together, studying together in different languages, and it's a beautiful, beautiful project.
Thank you very much for both of you for what you do and for your dedication to the Jewish world, but also to the Israeli society. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.